You know, a lot of people have this fantasy of dating a single mom. They think it's like dating a regular person, just it comes with a cute kid in the background, when really it's not. The truth is, it's so much different than that. It's not harder, it's not worse, it's just different. And if you don't understand those differences, you're gonna get blindsided and you'll hurt her in the process. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about what it really takes to date a woman who is a mother. When people talk about dating a single mom, they usually talk about it from the outside. They assume that their opinions make sense when really they've never lived this kind of life. But for me, being a single mom, it's made me see love much more differently. I don't have time for confusion. I don't have time for just for fun stuff. I don't have the luxury of casual relationships, you know? I don't have space for someone who is unsure because I'm a busy bitch. And I have learned these lessons the hard way. So today I want to talk honestly. I want to talk about what it really means to date a single mom. Not from theory, but from experience. And before I start, I want to say something that might be a little emotional, a little vulnerable from my side, and I'm sure every single mom's side. We don't really see this kind of content. We don't see single moms sitting down talking about dating standards, emotional needs, boundaries, or the reality of what we deserve in love. Not because we don't have these thoughts, not because we don't know what we need, but because we're scared to say it out loud. It makes us sound vulnerable. It makes us sound like we're asking for too much, we're complicated, we come with baggage, and what else? We should just be grateful for anyone who chooses us. You know, this is why we don't really see this kind of content, because it's such a sensitive topic. This narrative is trash, okay? We're not less. We're more. We are more patient, more emotionally available, more mature, more loving, and more grounded than we were before. Like the before version of me, before I became a mom, I wouldn't date her. No. But now that I've experienced it all, you know, the men, the breakup, the child, the pressure, all that jazz, I've become more emotionally mature. And so when we speak about standards, I feel like when I speak about consistency, when I speak about protecting my child and peace, I'm not asking for too much. No. I feel like I'm simply asking for a healthy kind of love. You know, a lavender love. Is that the word that they use now? Or vanilla love? Like very, you know, very like slow moving, emotionally mature love. Anyways. Single moms do not have free time. They have managed time. Time that is exchanged, arranged, sacrificed. If she chooses to spend time with you, it means she has rearranged something else to make space for you, which is a gift, by the way, so don't take it for granted. My time is not random. Everything is intentional. I remember this one time. This guy suggested a time for our date. And I said, okay, I'm free Thursday at 7. And he said, oh.
Can you just move some things around?
And I sat there thinking, like what? The child? The bedtime? The fucking universe? There are non-negotiable things that us single moms have to do, okay? Number 1. We have the morning routine. We have school prep. We have work. We have errands. We have homework. We have bath, bedtime. What else? Clean up. And yes, maybe 30 minutes so we can breathe. I didn't even get mad that he said that because I realized that, okay, this guy is just, he doesn't understand, you know, because he wanted convenience, not connection. A single mom is not waiting for someone to complete her life. Her life is completed. She has a child. She's been married. She's been divorced. She's handling many, many things. Parenting, work, home life, emotional management, daily responsibilities. And yes, taking care of herself in the pockets she can. So if your energy is, I'm gonna come into your life, I'm gonna be that hero. No, that's not love. That is, what is that? That is ego wearing kindness as a costume. Does that make sense? I feel like the most attractive thing you can be is stable, grounded, supportive, you know, not controlling, not rescuing, not inserting yourself as the solution. Listen, sometimes all we need to hear is, I see you, I respect you, and I want to be there for you. Wow. Okay, this is gonna trigger a lot of the men out there that are here for the wrong reasons, okay? This is not a negotiation. This is not an insecurity. This is parenthood. If the child needs something, plans change, okay? If the child is sick, dates are canceled. If the child is having a moment, I'm there fully. If you can't handle that, you're not ready. And that's okay. Don't step into her life wanting love without also respecting her priorities. You know, her child is first priority. You are second. You need to understand that and you need to accept that. For example, if she's in a date with you and suddenly her babysitter calls, there is no let's finish this date first. There is no let's ignore that and let's keep having fun. No, if the baby needs her, she goes with full heart without an apology. You need to accept that. I once ended a date very early because my child had a nightmare and she wanted me to be next to her, to hug her. And the man I was with took a deep breath and he said,
It's just a nightmare. She'll be fine.
and in that very moment, I knew everything I needed to know. If you think a child is an inconvenience, you don't deserve access. Single moms have seen things. We have lived through real life already. We don't fall in love from butterflies as we did before we had a baby. We fall in love with consistency, okay? It's your tone, your patience, your follow through, the way you handle miscommunications, like the date part, you know, if my child needed me, I gotta go. The way you show up when she's overwhelmed, because there are days where she is very overwhelmed. Consistency, I feel like, is very sexy. If your love comes in waves, you know, big highs, and then you ghost us, we're gonna walk away. Not because we don't care, but because, well, we really don't care. I know a lot of the men that date single moms out there are always wondering, when am I gonna meet the child? You don't get access to that part of her life just because you like her. Just because you think she likes you. She does like you. Meeting the child is not a milestone of romance. It's a milestone of trust, okay? If you push to meet the kid early, this signals immaturity. Like, for real. Never ask when you can meet the baby. Wait until she mentions it. If you understand the importance of waiting, that signals emotional intelligence, which is very hot for us, by the way. We get turned on by that. So you're probably asking yourself, but we've dated for this and this amount of time. When am I going to meet the child? Listen, when the trust is stable and the bond is strong, when the both of you feel so grounded, when the relationship has proven itself for future potential, that's when she can introduce you to the baby. And honestly, it could take months or longer, but don't give up. Just remember, you are dating her first. The relationship with the child comes naturally later. Not forced, not fast, not scripted. I know every single mom is going to agree with this, but offering help is beautiful. You know the saying, when it takes a village to raise a child, help is what we love. There's so many different kind of help that can be offered, but doing it while waiting for praise is not. I could give you some real examples of help. It could be like listening to her when she's overwhelmed, being gentle when she's tired, offering encouragement when trying to fix everything, giving space when she's overstimulated, speaking softly when she needs softness, because God, 98% of the time when she's at home, it's not softness, it's loudness, it's mommy, I want this, mama. You know what I mean? Also, a good example of help could be like, what do you need today? Do you need me to go get you something? That's the kind of help we need. Like, we don't need you to help me raise the child. We need you to help me feel better. I'm tired from being a mom. I want to complain about being a mom some days. I want to complain about my child being horrible today. I don't want you to say anything. I just want you to listen and support me. That's the kind of help we need. I once dated this guy and I was complaining a lot one day about my child being blah, blah, blah. And actually, no, not one day. This was like a week because she was going through this phase of not sleeping at all. And I was so tired and I also had to work. So a lot of complaints coming from me about this child. And guess what he said?
You talk so much about her. Can we talk about something else?
Okay. I don't need you to say that. I just need you to listen. This is a part where I feel like no one really talks about it. When a single mom loves someone, she loves maturely. She loves with gratitude. She doesn't take affection for granted. She values the small things. One time, my friend, who is also a single mother, felt really sick. And what did the guy do? He didn't go to her house because he was working that day, but he delivered her favorite coffee to her house. And it just made her feel so much better. That's what I mean, like small things. This is also another one that I feel like people don't really talk about, and they should. There is a real fear when it comes to introducing someone to your child. And it's not because the child is scary. Kids are usually pure. They're just brutally honest little humans that want snacks and cartoons. Like, they're not scary. I feel like this fear is mainly about consequences. One, you're allowing that person into your real life. Two, you're trusting that person with your most protective relationship, your child. And three, you're opening a space that is very, very pure and very fragile. So yeah, it is a big fucking deal. And for the person dating a single mom, I get it. You know, you have questions like, what if the kid doesn't like me? What if I mess up? What if I'm not ready for that responsibility? What if things don't work out and I end up hurting both of them? If you're thinking about those questions, it means you actually care, which is a very good sign, by the way. The ones who scare me are the ones who go, yeah, no big deal. I'm ready right now. Sir, sit the fuck down. You're not. And when you do meet the child, you don't need to perform for the child, okay? You're not a fucking clown. You don't need to show up as super parent number 2. Kids don't want perfection. They don't even know what the fuck that is, you know? They want kindness. They want good, fun energy. So if you want to date a single mom, don't come with a fantasy. Come in with awareness, maturity, and emotional presence. If you can do that, you will receive a lot of love. The kind of love that is grounded, safe, honest, intentional, and incredibly deep. And if you're not ready, totally fine. That's okay. Just don't walk in her life halfway. Thank you so much for listening. I love you. Bye.